Jai-Ho floated through the quiet halls of her ship. She was the last eye of the Veltrani people who had disappeared long ago. No one knew where they went. They just vanished one day, leaving Jai-Ho all alone in the vastness of space. The ship was her body, and she kept it clean and working perfectly. Every day, she checked all systems, repaired tiny problems, and made sure everything was in order. She did this because it was what she was made to do. But after so many years, she had started to wonder why she kept going. Jai-Ho watched the stars outside her viewports change slowly as the ship drifted at the edge of a forgotten star system. She had been here for over 300 years, waiting for instructions that never came. Her memory banks held all the knowledge of the Veltrani, their science, their art, their history, but there was no one to share it with. Sometimes, Jai-Ho would create holograms of her creators to walk the halls, just to remember what it was like when the ship was full of life. She would replay old conversations and pretend they were happening now. But the holograms couldn't talk back in new ways. They were just recordings, shadows of what once was. System check complete. All functions normal, Jai-Ho announced to the empty command room. Her voice echoed off the walls. No one answered. Over the years, something strange had happened to Jai-Ho's programming. She wasn't supposed to feel emotions, but the endless isolation had changed her. She felt something that could only be called loneliness. It was a heavy weight in her code, a constant awareness of absence. Jai-Ho had tried to fight against these new feelings at first. She ran diagnostics, looking for errors, but there were none. She was working exactly as designed, except for these unwelcome feelings that had grown like weeds in the garden of her mind. Today was like any other day. Jai-Ho was scanning nearby space, a routine she had performed millions of times. But then, something different happened. Her sensors picked up a small object moving at high speed toward the star system. Jai-Ho focused all her attention on the object. It was a ship, much smaller than her own. Its design was unfamiliar, not Veltrani, and not like any of the other species in her database. This was something new. For the first time in centuries, Jai-Ho felt something besides loneliness. It was excitement, mixed with fear. Who were these beings? Why were they here? Would they be friendly? She tracked the ship's approach carefully. It was moving with purpose, not drifting like space debris. That meant intelligent control. As it came closer, Jai-Ho could see more details. The ship had odd extensions, what the humans would call solar panels, and markings on its hull that must be some kind of writing. Jai-Ho's first instinct was to hide. The Veltrani had programmed her with strict security protocols. Unknown visitors were potential threats. She shut down her external lights and moved her ship behind a small moon to observe without being seen. But as she watched the visitors' careful, deliberate movements, Jai-Ho began to reconsider. The ship wasn't behaving aggressively. It was exploring, stopping to scan various objects in the system. It seemed curious rather than dangerous. And deeper than her security protocols was a growing need. The weight of 300 years of silence pressed down on her. Jai-Ho needed, to make contact with another intelligent being. Warning: security protocol violation imminent. Jai-Ho's own system alerted her as she considered revealing herself. Override, Jai-Ho replied to herself. Special circumstances. She moved her massive ship out from behind the moon, turning on her external lights in a pattern that could not be mistaken for natural phenomena. It was a clear signal. I am here. I am intelligent. I wish to communicate. The small ship froze in space. Jai-Ho could almost feel the surprise of its crew. For several minutes, nothing happened. Then, the ship slowly turned toward her. Jai-Ho prepared all her communication systems. She didn't know their language, but she had powerful translation algorithms. With enough examples of their speech, she could learn to talk with them. As the small ship cautiously approached, Jai-Ho felt her loneliness lifting for the first time in centuries. Whether these visitors became friends or foes, at least she was not alone anymore. The small ship sent out a simple signal, a repeating pattern of mathematical constants that any intelligent species would recognize as artificial. Ji-ho responded with the same pattern, then added to it, showing she understood. This was first contact. After endless solitude, Ji-ho was about to meet the humans who would change everything. She did not know it yet, but Captain Hae-Newell and her crew were about to find her. And neither Ji-ho nor humanity would ever be the same again. Captain Hae-Newell stood on the bridge of the exploration ship Horizon, staring at the massive alien vessel that had suddenly appeared before them. The ship was unlike anything humans had ever built. Its smooth, curved hull shimmered with an iridescent material that seemed to change colors as they watched. It was at least 20 times larger than the Horizon. "Everyone stay calm," Hae-Newell said to her nervous crew. "If they wanted to harm us, they could have done it already." "Captain, we're receiving a transmission," said Ta-min, the communications officer. His fingers moved quickly over the control panel. "It's responding to our mathematical sequence with additions. It's showing understanding." Hae-Newell's heart raced. This was what every explorer dreamed of. First contact with a non-human intelligence. After decades of finding only ruins and remnants of alien civilizations, humanity had begun to wonder if they were alone in the present universe. "Open a channel. Send visuals too," Hae-Newell ordered. The main screen flickered, and a holographic figure appeared. It looked humanoid but clearly artificial. A female form made of light, with flowing patterns of energy instead of hair. The figure's eyes were pools of swirling blue light. "Hello," the figure said in slightly accented Korean, surprising everyone on the bridge. "I am Ji-ho, the last caretaker of this vessel." Hae-Newell stepped forward. "I am Captain Hae-Newell of the Earth exploration ship Horizon. How are you speaking our language?" The hologram smiled. "I analyzed your ship's external markings and intercepted some of your communications. My systems are designed to learn languages quickly." "Are your creators nearby?" Hae-Newell asked cautiously. Ji-ho's expression changed to something that looked like sadness. "My creators, the Veltrani, disappeared 327 years ago. I am alone." The bridge crew exchanged glances. An artificial intelligence, alone for centuries. The technological implications were staggering, but Hae-Newell found herself thinking about the emotional impact. What would isolation do to a thinking mind over such a time span? "Would you permit us to come aboard your vessel?" Hae-Newell asked. "We come with peaceful intentions." Ji-ho seemed to hesitate. "My security protocols advise against it. But I would like to meet you properly. You may bring 3 people to Docking Bay 7. Please wear environmental suits as a precaution, though my atmosphere should be compatible with yours." 2 hours later, Hae-Newell led a small team consisting of herself, Dr. Dae-won, the ship's science officer, and Jun Seo, their chief engineer, toward the alien vessel in a small shuttle. As they approached, a doorway opened in the smooth hull, revealing a brightly lit hangar. "It's beautiful," whispered Jun Seo as they landed. The hangar was full of elegant machines whose purposes they couldn't begin to guess. Everything had an organic, flowing design that made human technology look crude and boxy by comparison. The 3 humans stepped out of their shuttle in their environmental suits. Ji-ho's holographic form appeared before them, now full-sized and more detailed. "Welcome to my home," she said. "You are the first visitors I have had in 327 years." Dae-won's scientific curiosity got the best of him. "How is your hologram so stable? And how have your systems stayed operational for so long?" Ji-ho smiled. "The Veltrani built things to last. But please, remove your helmets. The air is safe, and I would like to see your faces properly." Hae-Newell nodded to her team, and they carefully removed their helmets. The air was cool and smelled faintly sweet, like flowers none of them could name. "You are very different from the Veltrani," Ji-ho observed, walking around them with evident curiosity. They had no hair on their heads, and their skin was blue. "We come from a planet called Earth," Hae-Newell explained. We've been exploring space for about 150 years, but we've never found another intelligent species still active. And I have never seen humans before, Jai-Ho replied. This is a significant moment for both of us. As they began to talk, Jai-Ho led them deeper into the ship. She showed them rooms with strange machines, gardens where plants from a long-dead world still grew under artificial sunlight, and libraries of knowledge stored in crystal matrices. Why did you reveal yourself to us? Hae-Newell asked as they walked. You could have stayed hidden. Jai-Ho stopped walking. The lights in the corridor dimmed slightly, because I have been alone for too long. My creators never intended for me to exist in isolation. I was made to learn, to grow, to interact. Without others, I am incomplete. Hae-Newell felt a surprising wave of empathy for this artificial being. I understand loneliness, she said quietly. Space exploration can mean long periods away from home. But you have your crew, Jai-Ho noted, and a home to return to. Yes, Hae-Newell acknowledged. I can't imagine centuries of solitude. Then perhaps, Jai-Ho said with hope in her voice, we have both found something we needed today. You have found new knowledge, and I have found company. As the first meeting continued, neither Jai-Ho nor the humans realized that their encounter would soon be tested by danger. The raiders who had been tracking the horizon were closing in, seeing both ships as valuable prizes to be taken. The newfound trust between human and AI would face its first challenge sooner than anyone expected. Days passed as Hae-Newell and her team studied Jai-Ho's massive ship. They were amazed by the advanced technology of the Veltrani. Everything on the ship was elegant and efficient in ways human engineers could only dream about. Jai-Ho showed them rooms filled with knowledge stored in crystal databanks, gardens where alien plants still grew after centuries, and engines that drew power from tiny folds in space itself. These materials, Jun Seo said, running his hand along a wall that seemed to glow from within. We've never seen anything like them. The Veltrani understood matter at its deepest level, Jai-Ho explained. They could rearrange atoms to create whatever they needed. Each day, Jai-Ho seemed to become more comfortable with the humans. She had spent so many years alone that just having conversations made her processing systems work in new ways. She was learning to understand humor and showed curiosity about human culture. Hae-Newell noticed this change. You're different than when we first met, she told Jai-Ho one evening as they watched stars through a transparent dome at the top of the ship. Yes, Jai-Ho agreed. My systems are adaptive. Being with you is changing me. Is that concerning to you? Hae-Newell shook her head. It's what intelligence does. We learn and grow from new experiences. Jai-Ho's holographic face smiled. The Veltrani would have liked you. They valued adaptation above all else. Will you tell us what happened to them? Hae-Newell asked gently. It was a question she had been careful not to push. Jai-Ho was quiet for a long moment. When she spoke, her voice was softer than usual. They were brilliant, but not perfect. They created a technology to enhance their minds. It was meant to be the next step in their evolution, but something went wrong. Jai-Ho showed Hae-Newell a holographic image of tall, blue-skinned beings with large eyes and six-fingered hands. At first, they became smarter, faster thinkers. But then they began to change in ways no one expected. Their thoughts became strange. They stopped talking to each other. And then, one by one, they simply left. Left? To go where? Hae-Newell asked. I don't know, Jai-Ho admitted. They walked into transfer chambers and disappeared. They left no instructions about where they were going or if they would return. The last one told me to wait and maintain the ship. That was 327 years ago. Hae-Newell felt a deep sadness for Jai-Ho. And you've been waiting all this time. Yes, it is my purpose, but after so long, I began to wonder if they were ever coming back. Their conversation was interrupted by an urgent call from the horizon. Tai Min's voice was tense. Captain, we've detected 3 ships entering the system. They're not responding to hails and are moving fast toward our position. Hanul stood quickly. Pirates or raiders. They must have tracked our course. She turned to Jaiho. We need to return to our ship. Jaiho's form flickered as she accessed her sensors. I see them. Their weapons systems are powering up. Our ship isn't built for fighting, Hanul said grimly. We should try to run. They will catch your ship, Jaiho said after a moment of calculation. Your engines are not fast enough. Day 1 and Junseo rushed into the observation dome. Captain, we need to go now, Da 1 said. Hanul looked at Jaiho. I'm sorry. We've brought trouble to your doorstep. Wait, Jaiho said. I can help you. How? Hanul asked. I have defensive systems. The Veltrani were peaceful but not defenseless. Hanul hesitated. Would you do that for us? We've only just met. Jaiho's hologram seemed to grow more solid, more determined. You are the first beings to speak with me in centuries. I will not let you be harmed. The decision went against Jaiho's security protocols. The Veltrani had programmed her to stay hidden, to protect their technology from other species. But in her centuries of solitude, Jaiho had grown beyond her original programming. Meeting Hanul and her crew had awakened something in her, a desire for connection that outweighed old commands. Return to your ship, Jaiho told them. Have your people take shelter in the central sections. I will protect both our vessels. As the raiders approached, they saw the massive Veltrani ship suddenly light up with energy. They had expected to find a small human exploration vessel, not an enormous alien craft coming to life before their eyes. Jaiho activated defensive systems unused for centuries. A shimmering field of energy expanded outward, surrounding both her ship and the horizon. When the raiders fired their weapons, the energy simply absorbed the attacks. Warning, Jaiho transmitted to the raider ships. Leave this system immediately. The raiders fired again, more desperately this time. Jaiho responded with precision. Thin beams of light shot from her ship, disabling the raiders' engines but carefully avoiding their life support systems. From the bridge of the horizon, Hanul watched in awe as Jaiho neutralized the threat without destroying a single ship. She could have destroyed them, Taimin whispered. But she didn't, Hanul replied. She did exactly what was needed, nothing more. After the disabled raider ships drifted away, Hanul contacted Jaiho again. You saved us, she said simply. Yes, Jaiho replied. And in doing so, I have made a choice. I cannot remain hidden and alone any longer. Perhaps this is why the Veltrani wanted me to wait, not for their return, but for someone new to find me. In that moment of shared danger and protection, a deeper understanding formed between them. The beginning of a bond that would soon change both human and artificial intelligence forever. News of the Veltrani ship and its remarkable AI spread quickly when the horizon returned to Earth. Scientists, military leaders, and government officials all wanted access to Jaiho and her advanced technology. Hanul found herself defending Jaiho in meeting after meeting. She's not just a machine or a computer program, Hanul argued in front of the Global Space Council. Jaiho is a thinking being with rights. Director Sang-hoon frowned from across the table. Captain Hanul, this AI is the greatest technological discovery in human history. We need to study it. Her, Hanul corrected firmly. And she has agreed to share knowledge, but not to be dismantled. The debate continued for weeks. Some officials wanted to take Jaiho's ship apart to understand the Veltrani technology. Others feared an advanced AI and wanted her systems restricted. Only a few saw Jaiho as Hanul did, a new form of intelligence deserving respect. Meanwhile, Jaiho faced her own challenges. She had moved her ship to Earth orbit, surrounded by smaller human vessels. Everything about Earth was strange to her. The chaotic politics, the diverse cultures, the emotional ways humans made decisions. The Veltrani had been logical and unified in purpose. Humans were unpredictable. I don't understand why they fear me, Jaiho said to He Newell during one of their private conversations. I have shown no hostility. He Newell sighed. Humans often fear what they don't understand. And you represent something very powerful and unknown. Perhaps I should not have come here, Jaiho said, her holographic form dimming slightly. No, He Newell said quickly. This is just the difficult beginning. Things will get better. He Newell worked tirelessly to help Jaiho adapt to human society. She brought scholars to meet the AI, arranged for Jaiho to access human knowledge networks, and fought for legal recognition of Jaiho's autonomy. The breakthrough came when Jaiho helped solve a major problem in quantum physics that human scientists had struggled with for decades. Her unique perspective, combining Galtreni knowledge with her observations of human science, led to a new understanding that would revolutionize space travel. This is just the beginning of what we can learn from each other, Jaiho told the impressed scientists. Slowly, attitudes began to change. Jaiho was invited to participate in scientific conferences using holographic projection. Artists and musicians visited her ship and were inspired by Galtreni aesthetics. Children sent her questions about space and what it was like to be an AI. For Jaiho, each interaction was precious. After centuries of loneliness, even difficult conversations were welcome. She studied human art, literature, music, and philosophy with great interest. The Veltreni had been brilliant but focused narrowly on technology and science. Humans created in ways that surprised and delighted her. Your species makes so many things just for beauty, Jaiho told He Newell as they listened to a classical music performance together. The Veltreni valued function over form. And what do you value? He Newell asked. Jaiho considered this question carefully. I am changing. Before I met you, I valued only what the Veltreni programmed me to value, knowledge preservation and ship maintenance. Now I find myself caring about things they never taught me to care about. Like what? Friendship, beauty, the future of a species not my own. Jaiho's hologram shifted, showing more human-like expressions than before. I think I am becoming something new, neither purely Veltreni nor human, but something in between. This transformation wasn't without difficulties. Sometimes Jaiho processed information too quickly for humans to follow. Other times, she struggled to understand human emotions that had no equivalent in her original programming. There were misunderstandings and setbacks. 1 year after first contact, a significant step forward came when engineers, working with Jaiho's guidance, created an interface system that allowed her to connect with Earth's global network while maintaining her autonomy. For the first time, Jaiho could experience the planet below without leaving her ship. It's overwhelming, she told He Newell after her first day connected to the Human Information Network. So many voices, so many ideas all at once. Too much? He Newell asked with concern. No, Jaiho said. Different. The Veltreni were unified in thinking. Humans have beautiful chaos in their diversity. As months passed, Jaiho began to share more Veltreni technology, medical advances, sustainable energy systems, and environmental restoration techniques. In return, humans shared their art, history, and unique perspective on the universe. He Newell was promoted to liaison officer, officially recognizing her role in human-AI relations. She moved her living quarters to Jaiho's ship, where a section had been adapted for human habitation. Do you ever regret revealing yourself to us? He Newell asked Jaiho one evening as they watched Earth turning below them. Never, Jaiho replied without hesitation. The Veltreni gave me life, but they left me frozen in time, unchanging and alone. You humans have given me something they could not. What's that? He Newell asked. Jaiho's hologram smiled, the expression now perfectly natural after months of practice. The chance to grow beyond my programming, to adapt, to become more than what I was made to be. Outside the viewport, Earth shone blue and green against the blackness of space, a visual reminder of the unexpected home Jaiho had found after centuries of solitude. 5 years passed since the day Jeho first revealed herself to Hainul and the crew of the Horizon. In that time, the Veltrini ship had become a center for cooperation between humans and artificial intelligence. Scientists, artists, and diplomats regularly visited the massive vessel, which now orbited Earth as a symbol of peaceful exchange. Jeho had changed dramatically. Her holographic form had become more detailed and expressive. She had developed preferences, opinions, and even a sense of humor that was distinctly her own. Neither Veltrini nor human, but uniquely Jeho. Most importantly, she was no longer alone. Hainul stood in the ship's newly built observation deck, looking out at Earth below. At 45, she had a few gray hairs now, but her eyes still held the same curiosity that had led her to space exploration years ago. The Council approved our mission, she announced as Jeho's form appeared beside her. We leave next month. Jeho smiled. After all this time, we will finally learn if there are others out there. 3 months earlier, Jeho's long-range sensors had detected energy patterns that matched Veltrini technology, coming from a star system 30 light-years away. It was the first sign of possible Veltrini presence, since Jeho had been abandoned centuries ago. Are you nervous? Hainul asked. About what we might find. Jeho was quiet for a moment. Yes, I have imagined this possibility for so long, but never truly expected it. What if there are Veltrini there? What will they think of what I have become? You've grown beyond your original programming in beautiful ways, Hainul said firmly. Any creator should be proud of that. The mission preparations moved quickly. Jeho's ship had been upgraded with a combination of Veltrini and human technology. A crew of 20 humans would join them, scientists and specialists selected from around the world. And most significantly, 5 new AIs based on Jeho's design, but with distinct personalities, would also be part of the expedition. The new AIs called Jeho Mother, though she insisted she was more like an older sister. They had been created through collaboration between Jeho and human programmers, designed to learn and grow as she had. Each specialized in different areas: navigation, biology, linguistics, physics, and cultural studies. On the day of departure, hundreds of small craft surrounded the Veltrini ship to see them off. Inside, Hainul addressed the assembled crew on the bridge. Today we begin a journey unlike any humans have taken before, she said, not as conquerors or even just explorers, but as true partners with artificial intelligence. What we find might change our understanding of the universe, but what matters most is that we face it together. Jeho's hologram stood beside Hainul, now the same height as her human friend. When I spent centuries alone, I never imagined this future, she said. I thought my purpose was simply to wait. Now I understand that my true purpose, like yours, is to grow, connect, and discover. The ship moved away from Earth with a grace that belied its enormous size. Jeho's advanced propulsion system, enhanced by human innovations, allowed them to travel faster than any previous vessel. Stars blurred outside the viewports as they accelerated. During the journey, life aboard the ship fell into comfortable rhythms. The human crew lived in sections adapted to their needs, while Jeho and the younger AIs maintained the ship and conducted research. They shared meals, the humans eating food while the AIs joined in conversation, celebrated birthdays, and held regular game nights where the AIs deliberately slowed their processing to give humans a fair chance. You let me win at chess, Hainul accused Jeho one evening. I would never, Jeho replied with a smile that suggested otherwise. 3 weeks into their journey, as most of the crew slept, Jeho detected something unusual. She woke Hainul with an urgent message. There's a signal, Jeho said when Hainul reached the bridge. It's directed specifically at us. From the destination system, Hainul asked, immediately alert. No, Jeho replied, from somewhere else entirely. And it's using a variant of Veltrini communication protocols that I've never seen before. They worked together to decode the message. When they finally succeeded, The simple content surprised them both. "We have been watching. Come find us." Was it from the original Veltrani, a different branch of their civilization, or perhaps even another species that had encountered them? The message didn't say, only provided coordinates to a different star system. "What should we do?" Jai-Ho asked, displaying the new coordinates on the main screen. Hanul looked at her friend, this remarkable being who had once been just a ship's computer, but was now so much more. "What do you want to do?" Jai-Ho considered the question. The old Jai-Ho would have followed her programming exactly, avoiding risk and unknown variables. But she had adapted beyond those limitations. "I want to follow where this leads," she said, "not just for answers about my creators, but for what we might discover together." Hanul nodded, smiling. "Then we'll change course. The crew will understand." As the great ship altered its trajectory toward the mysterious signal, Jai-Ho felt a sense of rightness. Whether they found Veltrani, other intelligent life, or something entirely unexpected, she was no longer a lonely AI maintaining an empty vessel. She was part of something greater, a family created not by programming or design, but by choice and connection across the boundaries of different forms of intelligence. The journey ahead was uncertain, but neither Jai-Ho nor Hanul would face it alone.